And the federal government has issued a stern warning to foreigners funding banditry and terrorism in Nigeria, threatening to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. The government has identified and is monitoring foreign individuals and organizations funneling money to criminal groups, fueling violence and instability in the country. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, emphasized that the government will not tolerate any form of support for criminal activities, including banditry and terrorism. Mr. Malami stated that the government is collaborating with international partners to track and disrupt the flow of funds to these criminal groups and will prosecute anyone found complicit in funding these activities. The government's move is part of its effort to tackle the growing menace of banditry and terrorism in Nigeria, and also to hold accountable those who support and enable these criminal activities. Joining us in the studio is a security consultant and former member of the Presidential Committee on Small Arms, Light Weapons, Darlington Umoru. All right, I saw you shaking your head earlier, but I know it's something we've always talked about, so we'll address that. My apologies, we'll address that. But anyway, let's come back to the issues. Government issuing this stern warning on foreigners and persons, organizations who are funneling monies to fuel this matter of security crisis in the country. Is that enough in itself to issue a stern warning? Have we put measures in place to really address these matters at the root, and not just that we are just speaking as against taking the necessary action?
Veronica, I think I must commend you this morning. Your elements are quite up. I saw the interview before now, and your questions are quite up. You have answered the question for me. Really? Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not a security expert.
Because you've used some very strong words. The Attorney General is threatening and is... What has the government really put in place to suggest that it's not mere backing that we've had? We've had situations in the past where the United Arab Emirates helped this country somewhat trace monies that were moved to terrorists from the UAE to Nigeria. Persons who were involved at the other end of the United Arab Emirates were arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. Information got to this country, not under this administration, specifically to note.
Yes.
And then noise were made. Threats were issued. Up until this moment, why those at the end of the United Arab Emirates are serving jail term upward of 21 years, 15 years, and 10 years. What happened to the recipients who received the money in Nigeria and passed them on to terrorists? These were established by courts at the UAE. So what did you do as a government in Nigeria? This was made known, made public by the UAE government. What happened to the recipients?
Well,
who got the money here and passed them on to the terrorists? They should also have been languishing in jail by now. You see, you asked a question and you see, I smiled. The question was, what has government put in place to checkmate all of this? That's one situation. At a point in time, your gallant soldiers invaded Sambisa, at least by color. Saw people in a white man who was arrested in the midst of the terrorists, not kidnapped. He was working with them. Where is that man today?
That's a big question. If you look at the papers, forgive me for, cutting your line of thoughts, you see that the government or court is freezing bank accounts of certain individuals and organizations as a result of linking them to the protests that we have seen in Nigeria. And, some Nigerians have been reacting to that. Is that also a step, perhaps, in the direction of addressing this matter?
Who were those whose accounts were frozen? Are they foreigners? We are not talking about those who sponsored protests. The effect of the protest, how much are you feeling it after the 4th-day thing out of 10?
Because we recall that some persons were seen flying flags and investigations were said to be going on.
We're talking about terrorists and bandits that are causing and creating havocs in this country. We've had situations where we were told that some Bureau de Change owners...
Operators, yes.
Where are their names? We've had situations where governments have told us in this country and given us the hope that these persons will be exposed, these persons will be prosecuted. Where are they? We're talking about bandits and terrorists kidnapping people and killing people and maiming people, extorting people. We're talking about terrorists who are killing people at a time in this country. In every 24 hours, you'll be counting the number of dead bodies. We're talking of terrorists who are well-equipped. We're talking about bandits who are well-equipped.
Is it so difficult to, nip this, trace these persons and, follow through?
I wish you had brought a government official.
You are the security consultant.
I wish you had brought a government official to tell us why is it so difficult. Why is it difficult to achieve, but very easy to make noise, to tell us about things that you will not do? I'm sick and tired of all of this.
Right.
People are living in palpable fear in some parts of the country. Some cannot sleep, some cannot go to farm. Government is like taking the military away from certain responsibility and attaching some to farmers, like bodyguards to go to farm. Yet you cannot nip the problem like you have said in the board. We are looking at proliferation of small arms and light weapons here. Who are those acquiring these equipments for these boys to carry? Look at the faces of those boys that are often arrested that don't even spare your military. They don't arrest your military in most times. They kill them. The military is not allowed to do the same thing because some certain organization, international organizations, who call themselves watchdog, will begin to write against them. What we need is not backing anymore. You can quietly do this job. Set your apparatus right. Set your apparatus right and get to these people. Who are these people larger? You're talking about foreigners.
Right.
They're not even talking about Nigerians, if any.
Because the foreigners can't do this without them.
Come on. Those are in UAE. Were they able to do it alone? Why didn't they travel with the cashier and hand them over to your people? Sorry, not your people now. To the terrorists.
All right.
So what are we talking about?
So what you have said really, leads us back to a claim by a particular state governor who said a major issue is really a lack of political will on the part of probably the government. It's not really about the security agencies, because if there is no political will, whatever the security agents are doing will be destroyed. So in terms of political posture, political will, how would this really help the situation? The body language of the government, because so many persons will look at this story today and feel it's just one of those things.
Definitely. That is the only thing that comes to mind. Even to me, it's one of those things, and it's just one of the ways of talking just to tell perhaps the president that some of them are working.
Aren't they?
Oh, really?
I'm asking.
Show me the results. Let's see the result. We have had situations in this country where government has told you that they know those behind all of this. We've had situations in this country where government has told you that they were going to publish names. We've had situations in this country where government has told you that certain persons will be prosecuted. I gave you an instance. I thought you would give me an answer to that. What happened to the recipient of monies that came from UAE?
That's a big question.
No, but I don't get it. I don't understand it. We are tired and sick of listening to people telling us what they will not do. And if you keep repeating yourself year in, year out, then the people won't take you serious anymore. Government is a continuum. So what have we achieved through government in this aspect? I gave you instances. Now, I talked about, let's look at the foreign angle. I talked about two. I'm not giving you a bogus or generalized kind of thing. Let us have the record of those recipients who got money that came from UAE, who are in jail now, who have been prosecuted, that are in jail. The Bureau de Change people, how many of them are in jail now that you have identified? The DSS has identified some persons.
Okay. As much as...
You said okay?
No. I just want, because of our time, I want us to perhaps give a sense of direction to those who are watching in terms of how this can be addressed. Because we can go on and on with regards to what government hasn't done, but what can it do? What can we suggest perhaps to those who are responsible of issues like this to take steps they can take to addressing these matters? Are we looking at... Sorry?
Bite.
In what ways? Are we also looking at diplomacy, using diplomacy here? Where
we don't need diplomacy. What diplomacy do you need? People are dying and falling every day. You say diplomacy.
In terms of relating with countries, they know.
And the people, have you identified that those people are outside? They know.
They know they are foreigners. They know they are foreigners. They know they come from a particular country. Should we engage the country? That's the question I'm asking. Should we engage the country? Yes, we want to buy.
You have bilateral relationship with some of these countries. Some of these persons you call foreigners are even Nigerians. If you have identified them, what of the ones you have identified here? Start from home.
Charity begins at home.
What have you done with those you have identified in your country? What have you done with them? Are they too powerful? Can an individual be bigger than a country?
That's the question.
Can an individual be creating havoc in a country and will be bigger? Donald Trump was a former president and was taken to court.
Of course.
To answer to questions about things that he did. I don't understand it. I'm tired. We cannot keep hitting on the same thing, giving government ideas about how to go about some of these things, and government officials will be giving Mr. President an idea of what they are not doing.
So, quickly, because of our time.
It's all right.
You said we have 2 minutes now. You said the government should bite. In what ways? How?
Action. Do it. Don't tell us. If you want to go after foreigners or Nigerians, you already have identified.
You have the information.
You have the information that they are actually sponsoring terrorists. Go make arrest. If they are outside the country, you know what to do. It's a government we are talking about here. The Nigerian government. Not Chief Darlington, not Veronica, not Olamide. We're talking about government that has the instrument to go, and they know how to go about it. Don't tell us. Tell us that these persons were arrested, these persons have been brought to face the former vice president. Thought he had issues with the current president, right? He went to US. Did he not? And the matter went where? The matter was looked into by the judiciary. So that is an individual, for goodness sake. And so what are we talking about? They should stop giving Mr. President the false impression that they are working. Work and give the notes to Mr. President to see what you have done. And don't come to the public, to the media, to pass on information about what you have not been doing or what you cannot even do. Attorney General telling us they will do this. It's his own area, not about prosecution.
Well, perhaps that's what he's trying to say.
That what?
He will prosecute.
That he will prosecute. Did he add that he has been prosecuting?
Well, that's details. It's not part of
I have nothing against him, but I am sick and tired of governors and government officials going to the media, using the media to propagate what they cannot do, only to want to earn a credit or profit from trying to tell us what they are not really doing.
I take that as your interpretation of his statement.
My interpretation, yes.
All right.
Not yours.
Absolutely.
I said it.
I know.
I
just want to establish that.
No, you don't need to establish it. I am saying it. You are not the one saying it.
I get your point.
Just take me up on that and then give me proofs. Nigerians want to see proofs of what you are doing. That is the action I'm talking about here, please. People are dying on a daily basis.
Right.
People are dying. Part of the hunger we're suffering about that is being arrogated to this government is as a result of what the bandits and terrorists are doing. Absolutely. And then you cannot arrest all of that. You're sending soldiers to protect farmers, to lead farmers to farm, and then to take them home. And then when they leave the farmland, the terrorists will invade it, go and harvest the whole thing. Do they sleep there? I beg.
Right, so many things to say, but so far you have made your points clear. Darlington Umoru, security consultant, thank you so much for your time.
I'm former consultant too.
Right, I know. Thank you so much.
You know.
Right, for your time.
For my time.
Thank you so much.
And thank you too.
Right.
For getting me worked up.
My apologies, but it has to be addressed. Thank you again. Still ahead on TVC Breakfast. New era for Nigeria's